In the quiet town of Willow Creek, nestled in the rolling hills of rural Virginia, lived a woman named Emily Carter. She was 42, with soft brown hair tied back in a simple ponytail, and eyes that held a gentle, steady gaze. Emily worked at the local library, sorting books and helping folks find stories to escape into. Her days were predictable, like the slow turn of seasons. Mornings started with coffee on her porch, watching the sun rise over the fields. Afternoons meant quiet hours among the shelves. Evenings, she cooked simple meals: a pasta with tomato sauce, or a grilled cheese sandwich and read by lamplight. But on Saturdays, Emily drove her old blue pickup truck to the Oak Ridge shooting range. It was a place of open skies and distant echoes. The range sat on the edge of town, surrounded by tall pines that whispered in the breeze. Gravel crunched under tires as she pulled in, parking beside weathered trucks and SUVs. She liked the ritual of it all. Unloading her rifle case from the back seat, signing in at the small office, where the attendant, old Mr. Jenkins, nodded with a familiar smile. "Morning, Emily." "Lane 3's open," she nodded back, her voice soft. "Thanks, Mr. Jenkins." "Looks like a clear day." The air smelled of earth and faint gunpowder. Birds sang from the trees, undisturbed by the occasional pop in the distance. Emily walked to her lane, setting up with care. She laid out her ear protection, safety glasses, and the rifle, a modest .22 caliber. Nothing fancy. She loaded the magazine slowly, each bullet clicking into place like a quiet promise. Then she shouldered the gun, aimed at the paper target 50 yards away, and breathed in deep. The shots came steady, one after another. Pop, pause, pop. She wasn't there to rush. It was her way to unwind, to feel in control. The world narrowed to the sights, the trigger, the gentle recoil. Folks at the range knew her as the quiet one, the simple woman who shot straight and true, never boasting, always polite. On this particular Saturday in early fall, the leaves were just starting to turn gold. A light wind carried the scent of pine sap. Emily arrived as usual, the sun warming her flannel shirt. She wore long sleeves, even in the mild weather, and jeans that fit comfortably over her sturdy boots. Her scars stayed hidden, like secrets buried deep. The range was busier than normal. A group of veterans had come for a gathering, their laughter echoing from the picnic tables. Among them was General Robert Hayes, retired from the Army after 30 years of service. He was 65, tall and broad-shouldered, with silver hair cropped short and a face lined from years in the field. The general visited Willow Creek to see an old friend, and they'd suggested the range for some relaxed shooting. "Come on, Bob," his friend had said. "It's peaceful out here. No drills, just fun." General Hayes agreed, though peace wasn't always easy for him. Memories of deployments linger in the dusty roads in Iraq, the sharp crack of gunfire in Afghanistan. He carried his own scars, invisible ones that woke him at night. But today, he aimed to enjoy the morning. He set up in lane 5, 2 spots down from Emily. As he fired his pistol, he glanced around. That's when he noticed her. The woman in lane 3 moved with quiet precision. Her stance was perfect, feet planted, shoulders relaxed. Each shot hit the center of her target, grouping time like a professional's. He watched for a moment, impressed. She didn't flinch, didn't hurry, just breathed, aimed, fired. The general's friend, Mike, noticed too. "That's Emily Carter, local gal. Comes here regular. Shoots like she was born to it." Hayes nodded, adjusting his earmuffs. "She's got form." "Military?" Mike shrugged. "Nah, not that I know. Just a librarian. Keeps to herself." The morning wore on. Emily paused to reload, sipping water from her bottle. The sun climbed higher, warming the air. She rolled up her sleeves a bit, just to her elbows, to cool off. That's when it happened. General Hayes walked over to the target area during a ceasefire, carrying his own paper to replace. Emily was there too, clipping a fresh target. As she reached up, her sleeve slipped higher. The scars came into view, jagged lines across her forearm, puckered and faded but unmistakable. Burn marks, mixed with what looked like shrapnel wounds. They twisted like cold rivers on her skin. Hayes froze. His hand stopped mid-motion, the target dangling. Those scars, so he knew them. Not hers specifically, but the type. I'd blasts left marks like that. He'd seen them on soldiers under his command, in medevac tents and hospitals. His mind flashed back. A convoy in Kandahar, 2009, explosion, screams, a young sergeant pulling others from the wreckage, her arms torn and burned. It couldn't be. But the face. Older now, softer, but the eyes were the same, steady, unflinching. "Sergeant Ellis?" he whispered, his voice barely audible over the wind. Emily turned, her brow furrowing. She hadn't heard that name in years, not since she left the army, changed her last name to her mother's maiden, and moved to Willow Creek to start over. Emily Carter was who she was now, simple, quiet, but the general's face aligned. Familiarity stirred something. "General Hayes?" she said softly, pulling her sleeve down. He nodded, stepping closer. The range seemed to hush around them. Birds chirped, but the pops from distant lanes faded. "My God, Sarah Ellis, it's you." She glanced around, then met his eyes. "It's Emily now, sir. Been a long time." They moved to the side, away from the lanes, sitting on a wooden bench under the pines. The air was still, leaves rustling softly. Hayes set his gear down, his hand steady but his mind racing. We all thought you didn't make it," the report said, critical. Then nothing. "Discharged, vanished." Emily looked at her hands, tracing a scar with her thumb. "I almost didn't. After the blast, the burns. Doctors said I'd never use my arms right again, but I fought through rehab, left the service quietly, didn't want the pity, the stares. Came here for peace." He nodded slowly. "That day in Kandahar, you saved 3 men, including me, dragged us out while the vehicle burned. I owed you my life, but you were gone before I could say thanks." A gentle smile touched her lips. "Just doing my job, sir." We all did. The relatable problem had always been there for Emily, the loneliness of hiding. After the injury, she'd buried Sarah Ellis, the tough sergeant, under layers of quiet routine. The range was her only link to the past, a place to feel capable without questions. But scars don't fade completely. They itch on hot days, ache in the rain, and the nightmares. Well, they visited uninvited. Now, with the general here, the twist unfolded gently. No drama, no shouts, just recognition in the soft morning light. Hayes shared stories of the years since his retirement, family, the weight of command. Emily listened, her voice joining in bits. "I read books now, help kids find adventures." It's enough. But as they talked, emotion built like a slow tide. Hayes's eyes misted. "You were the best soldier I knew, Sarah." "Emily, brave, steady. Seeing you here, shooting like that. It makes sense." "But those scars, they tell the real story." She nodded, a pause hanging between them. "They do. Remind me I'm still here." The conversation flowed, natural as the breeze. Others at the range glanced over but gave them space. Mike, Hayes's friend, wandered by later, sensing the moment. "Everything okay, Bob?" Hayes smiled faintly. "Better than okay." Old friends reuniting. As noon approached, they stood. Emily felt lighter, like a weight she'd carried alone was shared. "Thank you, sir, for remembering." "Call me Robert," he said. "And thank you, for everything." They exchanged numbers, promising coffee in town. Hayes watched her pack up, her movements still precise. The simple woman at the range wasn't so simple after all. She was a hero, reclaimed in quiet. Emily drove home that afternoon, the truck rumbling along country roads. The sun filtered through leaves, casting patterns on the dash. For the first time in years, she didn't feel hidden. The scars were part of her, but so was the strength. Back in Willow Creek, life continued, books on shelves, coffee on the porch. But now, with a connection rekindled, the world felt a touch warmer. Emily Carter once Sarah Elisa knew peace wasn't about forgetting, it was about carrying on, scars and all. And General Robert Hayes, he returned to his life with a story to tell, one of gratitude and quiet valor. In the end, it was a gentle reminder, heroes walk among us, often in the simplest forms.